Good morning. It is September 26, 2018 at 2:51 a.m. Pacific time, and we will be reading um, Genesis 18 out of Battlefield of the Mind Bible by Joyce Meyer. Here we go, and I will be showing the ocean views video by them. Okay. Now the Lord appeared to Abraham by the terebinth trees of Mamre in Hebron, while he was sitting at the tent door in the heat of the day. When he raised his eyes, he looked up. Behold, 3 men were standing a little distance from him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. And Abraham said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in your sight, please do not pass by your servant without stopping to visit. Please let a little water be brought by one of my servants, and you may wash your feet and recline and rest comfortably under the tree. And I will bring a piece of bread to refresh and sustain you. After that, you may go on, since you have come to your servant. And they replied, Do as you have said. So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah and said, Quickly, get ready 3 measures of fine meal, knead it and bake cakes. Abraham also ran to the herd and brought a calf, tender and choice, and he gave it to the servant to butcher, and he hurried to prepare it. Then he took curds and milk and the calf, which he had prepared, and set it before the men, and he stood beside them under the tree while they ate. Then they said to him, Where is Sarah, your wife? And he said, There, in the tent. He said, I will surely return to you at this time next year, and behold, Sarah, your wife, will have a son. And Sarah was listening at the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, well advanced in years. She was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself when she heard the Lord's words, saying, After I have become old, shall I have pleasure and delight, my Lord husband being also old? And the Lord asked Abraham, Why did Sarah laugh to herself, saying, Shall I really give birth to a child when I am so old? Is anything too difficult or too wonderful to the Lord? At the appointed time, when the season for her delivery comes, I will return to you, and Sarah will have a son. Then Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, because she was afraid. And he, the Lord, said, No, but you did laugh. Then the men got up from there and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham walked with them to send them on their way. Okay, there's a little excerpt written by Joyce Meyer. Keys for a victorious life, trusting God's timing. When God came to Abraham and said he would bless him, Abraham told God that he wanted a son. See Genesis 15:2. What he had asked for was impossible under natural circumstances. Due to his wife's old age, because she was past the age of childbearing. But all things are possible with God. God delights in us when and nothing is too difficult or wonderful for the Lord. He said, the appointed time for Abraham and Sarah, Genesis 18:14. Sometimes we ask God for something he doesn't provide it right away. And in Abraham's case, 20 years passed before he saw the fulfillment of God's promise to him. God often waits on things and we don't understand why, but we can and should continue to trust him in his timing in our lives. Okay, on to Genesis 18, verse 17. The Lord said, shall I keep secret from Abraham, my friend and servant, what I am going to do? Galatians. Since Abraham is destined to become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth will be blessed through him. For I have known, chosen, acknowledged him as my own, so that he may teach and command his children, and the sons of his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is righteous and just, so that the Lord may bring upon Abraham what he had promised him. And the Lord said, the outcry of the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah is indeed great, and their sin is exceedingly grave. I will go down now and see whether they have acted as vilely and wickedly as the outcry which has come to me indicates, and if not, I will know. Now the two men, angelic beings, turned away from there and went toward Sodom. But Abraham remained standing before the Lord. Abraham approached the Lord and said, Will you really sweep away the righteous, those who do right, with the wicked, those who do evil? Suppose there are 50 righteous people within the city. Will you really sweep it away and not spare it for the sake of the 50 righteous who are in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to strike the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous and the wicked are treated alike. Far be it from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right by executing just and righteous judgment? So the Lord said, if I find within the city of Sodom 50 righteous people, then I will spare the entire place for their sake. Abraham answered, now behold, I who am but dust in origin and ashes, have decided to speak to the Lord. If 5 of the 50 righteous are lacking, will you destroy the entire city for lack of 5? And he said, if I find at least 45 righteous people, there I will not destroy it. Abraham spoke to him yet again and said, suppose only 40 are found there. And he said, I will not do it for the sake of the 40 who are righteous. Then Abraham said to him, oh, may the Lord not be angry, and I will speak. Suppose 30 righteous people are found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, now behold, I have decided to speak to the Lord again. Suppose only 20 righteous people are found there. And the Lord said, I will not destroy it for the sake of the 20. Then Abraham said, oh, may the Lord not be angry with me, and I will speak only this once. Suppose 10 righteous people are found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for the sake of the 10. As soon as he had finished speaking with Abraham. The Lord departed, and Abraham returned to his own place. Okay, there's another excerpt written by Joyce Meyer. Keys to a Victorious Life, Interceding for Others. To intercede means to stand in the gap for someone else, to plead a person's case before the throne of God, as Abraham did for Lot and his family. If there is a breach in people's relationship with God due to a particular sin in their lives, we have the privilege of placing ourselves in that breach and praying for them. We can intercede for them and expect to see them comforted and encouraged while they wait. We can also expect a timely breakthrough for them as God meets their needs. I don't know what I would do if people did not intercede for me. I petitioned God to give me people to intercede for me and for the fulfillment of the ministry to which He has called me. We all need one another's prayers of intercession. Praying for others is equivalent to sowing seed. We must sow seed if we are to reap a harvest. See Psalms 126:5 and Galatians 6:8-9. Sowing seed into the lives of other people through intercession is one sure way to reap a harvest in our own lives. Each time we pray for someone else, we are inviting God to not only work in that person's life, but also in ours. Intercession is one of the most important ways we carry on the ministry of Jesus Christ, which He began on earth. We can release God's power in the lives of others by praying for them. Okay, that's the end of today's reading. Thank you for joining with me, and I will see you again on Wednesday next week. Have a blessed week.